How are you guys doing? It is Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's elite performances and also let you know what to look forward to today because it is Wednesday, the middle of the week. There's a lot of playoff baseball you have to get to, and of course, soccer is starting to work its way back into the loop starting tomorrow. But with that said, I'm going to jump into the last NFL game of Week 5. It was a game that originally got rescheduled and moved back, but of course it was a matchup between two undefeated opponents. And then last night the Tennessee Titans hosted the Buffalo Bills and were able to beat them 42-16. Big win for them. For the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen would get the start. He threw for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. He also had 18 yards on the ground to give him 281 yards of total offense. Through the air, Stephon Diggs was their leading receiver. He had 106 yards on 10 receptions. TJ Yeldon, their running back, had 52 yards on 7 carries on the ground, and he also had 22 yards through the air to give him 74 yards on the day. He also had a receiving touchdown to give him a touchdown on the day. On the defensive side of the ball, Jordan Poyer would be their leading tackler, along with their elite linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. Both players had 8 tackles on the day. Josh Norman had 7 tackles, but he also got stiff armed like crazy by Derrick Henry. And then also just looking on, not much going on for the Buffalo Bills as the Titans, they were able to score 21 points in each half and kind of just keep it up and just dominate the Buffalo Bills from beginning to end. Ryan Tannehill, their quarterback, would throw for 195 yards and 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, their elite running back, would finish with 57 yards on 19 carries and 2 touchdowns. He also had 6 yards through the air. A.J. Brown would be their leading receiver. He had 82 yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown. He also had Jonnu Smith also had 40 yards on 5 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Those were all 3 receiving touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Rashaan Evans would lead the way. He'd lead all players with 9 total tackles on the day. Harold Landry III was able to get a sack. That's the defensive end out of Boston College. And then Malcolm Butler was able to get 2 interceptions on the day, to officially go along with the 7 tackles. He had an incredible game on the defensive side. And that's Malcolm Butler, the same player that got the interception against the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. But with this win, the Tennessee Titans are now 4-0 as the Buffalo Bills drop down to 4-1 on the season. And now with week 5 finished, I'm going to take you really quickly through the NFL standings before I move on. Starting in the National League, the NFC, Starting in the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys currently lead that division with a 2-3 record. In second place are the Philadelphia Eagles with a 1-3-1 record. The Washington football team is sitting in third at a 1-4 record, 1 game behind the Cowboys. And the New York Giants are sitting in dead last in the NFC East with an 0-5 record, 2 full games behind the Cowboys with 12 weeks of football left to go. In the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers have the best record. They are one of 2 teams in the NFC that are still undefeated. In second place, you have the 4-1 Chicago Bears. In third place, you have the 1-3 Detroit Lions. And then sitting in last place in the NFC North are the 1-4 Minnesota Vikings, who are 3.5 games behind the first place Packers. Moving on to the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Carolina Panthers are on a 3-way tie for the division lead or the best record. They're all 3-2. I think the edge goes to the New Orleans Saints because they're 1-0 within the division, and the Atlanta Falcons are sitting in last with an 0-5 record, one of 2 teams in the NFC that haven't won a game yet, along with the New York Giants. In the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks, other than the Green Bay Packers, are the other undefeated team in the NFC. They're sitting at 5-5. The Los Angeles Rams are sitting in second in the NFC West with a 4-1 record at the moment. The Cardinals are third at 3-2, and the San Francisco 49ers, the defending NFC champs, are sitting in last in the NFC West with a 2-3 record on the season. Looking at the AFC, starting in the West, the Kansas City Chiefs are currently leading that division with a 4-1 record. They're the reigning Super Bowl champs. Sitting in second are the 3-2 Las Vegas Raiders, who just beat the Chiefs this weekend. Sitting in third are the Denver Broncos, who are 1-3, and the Los Angeles Chargers are sitting in last in the AFC West with a 1-4 record, 3 games behind the Chiefs. In the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans are still undefeated. They're one of 2 teams in the AFC that are still undefeated through 5 weeks. Sitting in second are the 3-2 Indianapolis Colts. Following the Colts, you'll have the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars both tied at 1-4 for third and or last in the AFC South. Jumping to the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only other team other than the Tennessee Titans who are still undefeated so far. They're sitting at 4-0. The Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns are tied for the second best record in the AFC North as they both have 4-1 records. And the Cincinnati Bengals, led by rookie quarterback Joe Burrow, are sitting in last with a 1-3-1 record in the division. And last but not least, jumping out to the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills have the best record in that division with a 4-1 record. The New England Patriots, after just taking their bye and Cam Newton being out for a week, he might be back for the next week considering they had a bye week. But the New England Patriots have the second best record in the AFC East with a 2-2 record. The Miami Dolphins are third with a 2-3 record, and the New York Jets, just like the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons, one of three teams in the NFL who have yet to win a game this season. But with that said, that's what the NFL is looking like after 5 weeks. Some teams have experienced bye weeks, and you're starting to see the difference in it. But also, really quickly, jumping out to soccer, just to let you know what's going on in the world of soccer on the international sphere. Yesterday there were some UEFA Nations qualifying games yesterday. Starting from the top, Germany was able to tie Switzerland at 3. Switzerland was able to take a 2-1 lead at halftime, but then Kai Havertz and Serge Gnabry were able to score in the second half after Timo Werner's goal was their only goal in the first half. Big tie for both teams, especially a bigger comeback from Germany after letting Switzerland go up the way they did. Ukraine was able to beat Spain as well yesterday as Sigankov was able to get the only goal for Ukraine as Spain, like I just said, held scoreless. Looking at the FIFA World Cup qualifying from the America side, Laura Martinez was able to get the first goal for Argentina, followed by Korea as they were able to beat Bolivia. Ecuador was able to beat Uruguay 4-2 before Uruguay, Luis Suarez, their elite striker, would end up with 2 penalty kicks, but it just wouldn't be enough for them. Also continuing on, Brazil was able to beat Peru 4-2 as their elite forward Neymar was able to score 3 goals, 2 of them being penalty kicks, and then his third being in the 90th minute in extra time just to help Brazil get a much needed win. But that's what soccer was looking like yesterday. In terms of what to look forward to today, it's still UEFA Nations League. Finland takes on Ireland. Bulgaria takes on Wales. Croatia is going to take on France in the 2018 World Cup final rematch. England's going to take on Denmark. That's going to be a big game. Iceland plays Belgium. Italy plays the Netherlands. Another big game to look out for. Bosnia is going to take on Poland. Not that big of a game, but of course Poland has Robert Lewandowski, who is named the best player in the world, but he's getting an ultrasound on his ankle, so he might not play. Norway is going to take on Northern Ireland as Erling Braut Haaland is starting to really get things going in his international career. Other than that, those are the big games. There's a lot of MLS soccer as well, as club soccer is going to return officially tomorrow, as the German domestic cup will resume tomorrow as Bayern Munich takes on Düren. But of course, I'll get into that one tomorrow. But with that said, last but not least, jumping into yesterday's baseball games, starting with game 2 of the NLCS, because that was the game that happened first. In this game, the Atlanta Braves were able to go up 7-0 at one point, and the Dodgers made an attempt to come back, but the Braves just simply wouldn't let it happen. In this game, Tony Gonsolin would pick up the loss for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He would give up 5 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched, striking out 7. Following him, it was mostly bullpen pitching. Baez gave up a run, but then Alex Wood and Kolarek would also give up runs later in the game, and the Dodgers would kind of just drop the ball on this one. Looking at how their offense did, though, and in their attempt to come back, their elite right fielder, Mookie Betts, would go 1-for-3 with a run on the day. The Dodgers shortstop, Corey Seager, would go 2-for-4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his first home run of the series. He hit that in the 7th inning off of AJ Minter. Their first baseman, Max Muncy, would go 1-for-3 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his first home run of the series in the 9th inning. Big home run. Their elite center fielder, Cody Bellinger, would go 1-for-5 with an RBI as he had an RBI triple in the 9th to keep the Dodgers alive. Chris Taylor, Jock Peterson would go. They finished with 1 hit, and they'd also get a run on the day along with Will Smith, their rookie catcher. Looking at how the Braves did, Ian Anderson Anderson, their rookie, would make the start. He would pitch 4 innings, allowing only 1 hit, allowing no earned runs, striking out 5. He also walked 5 as well. Matzek would win the game for the Braves on the day. Tyler Matzek would allow no earned runs in 2 innings pitched, striking out 1 in that stretch, and then it was mostly just bullpen pitching. Mark Melancon almost blew the save, as he did allow a run after Josh Tomlin brought a lot of the runs home, but Melancon was the one that pitched and got the Dodgers their last, or allowed the last Dodgers run. That's the way I want to put it. But the Braves were able to hold on pitching-wise in terms of how they batted. Their elite right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr., would go 0 for 3 with 2 runs on the day, as he walked twice and he struck out 3 times. Their elite first baseman, Freddie Freeman, would go 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs, as he hit his second home run of the series. Their catcher, Travis d'Arnaud, would go 0 for 3 with an RBI and a run, as he walked twice as well. Their elite second baseman, Ozzie Albies, would go 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he finished with as he hit his second home run of the series yesterday, along with Freddie Freeman. Their shortstop, Dansby Swanson, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI, and their left fielder, Nick Markakis, would go 2 for 4 with a run. Continuing on, their rookie center fielder, Christian Pache, would go 1 for 5, getting his first career playoff hit. He finished with an RBI, and he finished with a run on the day. Big game for Christian Pache. And with this win, the Atlanta Braves now lead the Los Angeles Dodgers 2-0 in this series, with a chance to go up 3-0 today. Jumping on to the other game in this American League Championship Series, the Tampa Bay Rays were able to beat the Houston Astros 5-2 yesterday after scoring all 5 of their runs in the 6th inning after the Astros took yet another early lead. I'm looking at how the Astros fared. The loss would go to their starting pitcher, Jose Urquidy, who would pitch 5 innings, allow 1 earned run, and allow 2 runs total, striking out 4 batters on the day. But then Paredes would blow the save, as he would allow 3 earned runs and only registering 1 out in the performance that he had. Looking out to how their offense fared, their elite second baseman, Jose Altuve, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run, as he hit his second home run of the series in the first inning, his second leadoff home run, might I add. Their left fielder, Michael Brantley, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run, as he hit his first home run of the series in the 6th inning as well. Their elite third baseman, Alex Bregman, would go 0 for 3 as he struck out. Not much going on offensively for players that weren't Jose Altuve or Michael Brantley. For the Tampa Bay Rays, Ryan Yarbrough would get the win, as he allowed 2 earned runs in 5 innings pitched, striking out 5 batters on the day, and kind of just letting it go to the bullpen yet again. The save would eventually go to Diego Castillo, who logged 2 strikeouts in the last inning, just to kind of secure for them. On their offensive side of the ball, their left fielder, Randy Arozarena, finished 3 for 4 with a run on the day. Their third baseman, Joey Wendell, will go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run as well. And their pinch hitter, Hunter Renfroe, went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs on the day. With this win, the Tampa Bay Rays are now they're leading this series over the Houston Astros 3-0, as one more win from the Tampa Bay Rays will secure a spot for them in the World Series. But that's how yesterday's baseball went, and so far we have no reason to go to a game 5 so far as of yet. Both series can very well end up in a sweep. Looking at how both games are looking today, starting at 6:05, it'll be game 3 of the NLCS, as Julio Urias is going to make the start for the Dodgers, and Kyle Wright's going to make the start for the Atlanta Braves, as the Braves attempt to go up 3-0 just like the Rays. And at 8:40, it'll be game 4 of the ALCS, as Tyler Glasnow attempts to get the Tampa Bay Rays into the next round without losing or dropping a game to the Houston Astros. But he's going to have to get through Zach Greinke and, of course, the Houston Astros lineup, and that's going to be the proposed matchup for Game 4, as the Astros' backs are against the wall. I don't know if there's been a team that's come back from down 3-0 in the championship series to win. It very well could be the Astros. I mean, they're not completely out until they're out. But for now, this looks like it's going to be some great baseball today, and that's what you got to look forward to in terms of what's going on today. And today is Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. I want to thank you for listening to my 14.5-minute piece. And with that said, peace out.